The following is a production of cprundown.com. The views and opinions expressed by the host of this podcast are those of the individual and not of any affiliated companies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast covering the Cedar Fair Entertainment Company, the amusement industry, and the business of fun. Here are your hosts, Karsten Anderson, Evan Schultz, and Kyle Hu.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast covering Cedar Fair, Cedar Point, and everything to do with fun. And we're back for another week.
Yeah, another.
I think this is the first time doing 2 weeks in a row in ages.
Yeah, probably since the end of the season for Cedar Point, I'd say.
Yeah, probably.
With the season starting up, we got a lot to talk about.
We do have a lot to talk about. We've got a big run sheet of everything, and ding, I'll do that for you, Evan.
Rundown. A rundown, some would call it.
I was gonna say, well, I think we should just jump right in and just start talking about everything. So, I got tasked for the Thrill Dragster update, and the big update that everyone's wanting to know, that if they haven't if they don't have social media or anything. The biggest update ever is the crane is gone.
Question mark?
Yeah, big question mark. And it seemed like the crane was literally only there for a few days, question mark?
I think it was put together and in use for 2 days.
And
we didn't really see them do anything with it.
Right. I have no idea. That was a massive crane. I don't know if it was high enough to hit the top of the top hat, whatever it was going to do. Obviously, it didn't take any top hat track pieces down that was rumored. They didn't take anything. No, none of the track's been touched. It doesn't look like. And maybe they were taking measurements or something. I don't know.
I didn't actually see the crane there in person, so I'm was that a dream? Did I? Was it real? Did people Photoshop it? Was the crane actually there at some point? Can you confirm with your eyes?
When we were at Cedar Point, I pointed out that there was a few broken tree limbs.
Okay, well,
over there,
I don't think there was any storms recently either. So
yeah, I saw the evergreen trees that had a few broken branches, because that crane was it was massive. It wasn't a normal traditional construction crane that they normally set up that's going to be there for months on end, how they've got the tracks and they got to lay down the pieces of wood so it doesn't, in case it gets muddy, or to give it a flat terrain and stuff. And then you build that crane, and then it's got I don't know. This is crane 101. I'm not very I'm not crane savvy on it. But this one was one of those drivable cranes that literally there's a guy that drives this crane there, and then it just kind of extends its boom arm, and then it's got an extended boom. I could be super wrong on that, and I apologize, but this is what it goes on in my head, and that's what I think it is. But yeah, so they have an extender on top of the crane itself, just to make whatever extra feet it needs to make, kind of thing. So I don't know. I didn't see any when I was there and the crane was there. I didn't see any actual lift basket for someone to go up in it. So I'm thoroughly confused.
I think we saw a picture on social media of them in a lift basket at some point, kind of looking at the track, and then that was it. That was the only actual use of the crane I've seen.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. So your guess is as good as mine. And I guess we will find out when we find out when they announce.
We'll pretty much be there all weekend. So,
right. Kyle, you were finally able to come on over to lovely Ohio from Florida, get away from that rainy weather. What did you think about, you haven't seen Thrill Dragster since all this crazy construction started and everything. So I'm super curious on what we got to ride Iron Dragon. So what did you think?
First of all, I cannot believe how much of an active construction zone that is. I mean, because obviously, I listen to you guys talk about it every time we record, and, you can see pictures and everything, but until you actually see it for yourself, I don't think you can understand the scope of what they're doing. So that was just baffling to me to see it in that state. We kind of peeked through the fence and just everything is tore up except the station. And,
I was going to say the station's complete, every concrete aspect of the station is completely gone. The only thing that's literally there are the yellow supports that hold up the roof. That's literally the only thing that's there, besides obviously the hidden, I guess you could say, electrical house that they have all the way to the very, very left over by Iron Dragon area. But literally, like, it's unrecognizable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you wouldn't know there would be like a ramp that you would go up to that station and you would, stand there and
all that's there is just the yellow support structure. Everything else is gone.
Yeah.
And obviously we can sit here and speculate all day about what those mysterious footers by Iron Dragon are for, but I will say, there's 3 of them kind of in a triangular pattern, and the frontmost one is just perfectly lined up where the old launch track and all the launch footers are. So, I mean, that kind of, if
when you rode Iron Dragon, I pointed out and showed you the giant rectangular one that's over by the photo booth too, that has 2 of them inside there. So,
so that's crazy too.
Need to see that one. I haven't seen that one yet.
It's if you get to ride Power Tower or Iron Dragon or Valraven, or I've heard Corkscrew, if you go, like, if you're exiting down
rides that I have not ridden yet this year, every single one of them.
You can see all of everything that's kind of like what's going on and stuff. So I don't know. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm super excited. It seems like work has maybe slowed down a little bit because they used to have another crane over there when they were working on those supports that are now, looks like they're pretty much finished. That crane actually went away. So there's currently no cranes that we know of that are on site.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable to see. I mean, just the scope of whatever is going to happen with this project right now is just unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm here for it. I'm curious to see. There was someone that I think on one of the group pages, I'm not exactly sure which group page, but they were like, so do you think that the new 2024 coaster is going to be the best at Cedar Point? Is it going to beat out all your favorite coasters and stuff? And I'm like, I kind of like stopped and thought to myself, and I'm like, I don't know. I have to see what's announced.
When I let my imagination run wild, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's crazy to think what this could possibly be.
Yeah.
Without like really getting nerdy with the speculation and stuff. Like, this could be like earth shattering.
Yeah.
What we're witnessing. So I'm just excited.
You guys have any more thoughts?
Well, I was going to say, nice little transition here for you. I remember last year, one of the big discussion points all year was if the lights on the tower were still on. And tomorrow, you will see.
That is very true,
if the lights on the tower are on this year.
Well, I was going to say,
means as much anymore, but
I was able to stay late, I believe. It was the end of Ohio State Day, and I was waiting for Lauren to get there. And so I was like hanging out in the rotunda because she was like an hour and a half, like after park closing or whatever, that she wasn't going to arrive. So I had to walk out at the very end of the night. I took the boardwalk all the way, the parking lot, went and got in my car and left. I did look over at the park, and Top Thrill Dragster lights were off, the tower lights. So yes, but speaking of lights, like you said, I will be at the park tomorrow night after work. And this is
first
Cedar
10 p.m. closing of the year.
Yep, Cedar Point's first 10 p.m. closing. I'm super excited about it because I cannot wait to see the boardwalk all lit up. I cannot wait to see what kind of lights they have. They might be still maybe working on some lighting and stuff. I know lighting and stuff and everything kind of take a lot longer than people realize. So maybe I know when Pipe Scream was first opened, they didn't even have those running cool LED lights at that like run across and stuff. And I remember, I think I was exiting, I think it was Maverick or something, like super, super late at night. It might have been like 11 or 12 o'clock close or something. And I was walking out on that midway, and they had a giant, they had like cones all over so people wouldn't step on them, but they had a giant like roll of like LED lights. And I'm like, I asked the guy, I'm like, oh, what's going on? They're like, oh, we're putting the LED lights on there. I think this was in like June or July. So I don't know if everything's going to be up like for like quote unquote wild mouse. I don't know if it's just going to have like, I saw that they installed when we rode it on Sunday, I saw that they installed some white lights on the lift hill. So those are new. But maybe it's going to have some cool, I hope it has like some really cool like racing LED lights all along the track and stuff, and make it.
I was thinking like Hang Time's light package at Knott's Berry Farm.
Something like that. Speaking of lights, I did notice, and I can't wait to see them tomorrow night. Power Tower actually got some new. It looks like some new lights down below. I was looking because I'm a nerd and I like lights and things like that. I was looking at the new lights, and there was something hanging off of one of the lights, and I looked and I'm like, oh wow, I'm like, those look really tiny and those look new. So I don't know for sure if those are new. I will report back obviously, and we'll let you guys know. But yeah, so definitely stay tuned to the Facebook page, because we will definitely have a bunch of maybe videos if they're like moving lights, but for sure still photos. And you know, we'll talk a little bit about them on the next podcast episode. And then we also got to see, when we were walking out on Sunday, we got to see the new Coliseum arcade, because they got a new sign on opening day, and it was kind of like a wood flat sign.
It was like kind of cheap and obviously temporary.
Yeah, well, I didn't know. I was like, wow. I saw it. And I'm like, I'm like, at least it got a sign. I'm like, you know, because like there was actually, I don't think there was ever a sign on there, at least as long as I can.
No, not that I know of.
But I was like, oh, I'm like, that's cool. At least the arcade, like people know it's like an arcade now. If you know, obviously, if you look in, you can kind of tell it's an arcade. But I'm like, well, that's cool. And then all of a sudden, Tony posted on Twitter like a few weeks ago saying, oh, this is going to look great. And I saw it. I'm like, oh. I'm like, okay, so this is like a full built sign that's got a bunch of lights and a bunch of cool things, and it's very, it's very
1950s. The like big bulbs and
yeah,
or even 40s.
Looks really, really cool. Looks really retro. I got to see it a little bit. It wasn't super dark out when we were leaving the park, but it looked really, really cool with like some of the orange lights. If you go on Cedar Point or on our Facebook page, you can actually see. I put like a 1-minute video up of what the lights kind of do and stuff. So they kind of dance around and do all kinds of stuff. So yeah, cool, it's not just like static light and everything. But yeah, so lots to look forward to. Lots of new lights coming, and the new boardwalk is going to look really, really, really hot.
I am so excited to see it.
Yeah. But I think that's all I got for my lighting and everything. So,
all right. Well, this isn't really much of a news story, just as much as it is kind of a little blurb. But Zambezi. I always get this wrong. Is it Zambezi?
I think we decided Zambezi.
Zambezi.
Yeah,
okay.
Zambezi.
Well, Zambezi Zinger at Worlds of Fun was supposed to have its pass holder preview today, actually, right? Today, the May 25th?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and its official opening day was supposed to be tomorrow, Saturday the 26th. But that has been postponed. Worlds of Fun put out a little message yesterday that the ride is not completely ready yet, and that it will not be opening this weekend, but they will keep everybody updated on when it will open. So not much to talk about there, but just wanted to throw it in the notes.
So if you're heading to Worlds of Fun, don't be sad.
Yeah.
Well, don't be surprised.
Well, I was going to say really quick, I mean, opening new coasters and new rides and stuff, they always have some, you know, glitches to work out.
Yeah, but one would think, and I'm not trying to sound like a Debbie Downer here, but one would think they had to have known this thing wasn't going to be ready more than a day ahead of time. You know,
I think a lot of the coaster Twitter, which is a dangerous place to go sometimes, is like, guys, it's kind of a late curveball you threw us here, especially if I was traveling in and So I didn't spend any money on it. No skin off my personal nose, so I'm just excited to see this thing when it comes out for real, because it looks really, really good.
Hopefully the delayed opening means that they're just refining everything, getting more bugs out, and maybe they're
adding more theming.
Maybe, you never know. It's all about theming.
Yes.
But speaking on a higher note, you know, let's
completely switch gears here.
Coasterstock. Evan, you want to give us a recap on Coasterstock? I know
you guys
are both exhausted, so
Yeah, exhausted is an understatement. I mean, we've all talked at length on the show about how much we all love Coasterstock. So obviously, we were really excited to get in this year's Coasterstock, and the weather for once was actually perfect.
I don't think we're ever going to get that lucky again. It did not rain.
I don't think there was a single drop of rain during any of the park hours. I wasn't there for Saturday morning ERT.
Yeah,
I think it was still drizzling a bit.
Friend of the podcast, Brad, he was there, and he did say that on his way to the park, it was raining, but once he got there for ERT, it was done.
It's because the PR person, the PR person for Kings Island, his name's Don Hilbig. He has a dome, and he flipped the switch, and he asked Mike, he asked Mike, the GM for, right? It's Mike, right? I'm not Mike.
Kuntz.
Yeah, okay. He asked Mike, he's like, so can I have full permission to like keep the dome on the whole entire weekend? And Mike goes, yeah, I think so. I think you
instead
can.
Instead of having to take it down like Saturday evening, so like the ultra severe Florida style thunderstorm can come through.
Right. Full disclosure. There's no
exist yet. I believe that's actually what they're building in Vortex's plot.
A dome?
Yes.
I mean, all right.
But yeah, anyway, so yeah, we avoided the giant storm that happens every year, which was awesome. And it wasn't even that hot out, especially Saturday. It was a nice cooler day. So that helped the exhaustion. But yeah, so that was the first time the three of us have been together in Ohio since Kyle shelled off for Florida. So that was nice to have you back up here. And it really was a blast. I think this was probably the best ERT in recent memory too, just because it didn't get cut short. Thank you, weather. But I mean, both nights, Carson, I can't honestly remember if you were with me for both full nights of ERT, but I think across the 2 nights we got 11 rides on the Beast, 4 rides on Orion, a couple on Diamondback and Mystic Timbers on Saturday. And,
see, you and me, I mean, obviously we're like really best friends, but like we literally have like the same mindset. I'm like, okay, let's do 2 in Orion, let's do 1 at Flight of Fear, let's do 1 at Diamondback, and then let's just kill the rest of the time at the Beast.
Yeah. I think that was so Friday night, Diamondback and Mystic Timbers weren't open for ERT. It was just Orion, Racer, like Flight of Fear with the lights on, and the Beast. So I think you and I were both like, all right, we're gonna start at the Racer, and then we're gonna go to Orion and get a couple rides on that, and then we were gonna do Flight of Fear, but that had a line because it's Flight of Fear with the lights on, and we were just like, meh, we've done it before. So then we just went and rode Beast. And then Saturday was kind of the same deal, but we started at Orion and went to Diamondback and Mystic Timbers, and then ended at the Beast and got 6 rides in on it. And we weren't racing against a storm, there was a storm out there apparently that kind of fizzled out, but it never made it. And I was going up the hill like looking for lightning and stuff. And so the ERT was great.
I even got to see Kyle run.
Yeah. Oh my God, I have not run in years.
So
that was a rare sight.
little inside scoop on our ERT experience. I think we were pulling in. What time did ERT end? 11:30.
Yeah, and it was like 11:28.
Yeah, it was 11:28 because I was watching it on my watch by the seconds, and I'm like, we got 2 minutes, and we parked.
We get off the ride. It's like 11:28. I'm sorry to anybody. Any of our group of like 12 might have trampled. But
we were the ones that got off the train first. So because we
were sitting.
The only person that was trampling me was Kyle.
Yeah.
But we just took off and made it back in line. I mean, everybody in our group was sprinting. I mean, that goes to show how great Beast Night rides really are, and it was flying.
It was great. It's running great.
It really is.
I would like to point
except
out,
when you ride in the backseat of a car 6 times in a row. That was getting kind of...
That could be attested and to your girlfriend. Shout out to her because that was great watching.
Yeah. Because I was riding with Brad, and she's like, "Wait a minute, I want to see you get tortured firsthand." So there we were in row 6 or whatever.
I would like to point out that for the most part, there is no element or no part of any coaster out there that genuinely terrifies me, except when you drop off of that second lift and you're just barreling full speed ahead, and I'm thinking, there is no way in hell we're going to make it through this helix. We're just going to keep going straight and go right off the track. Like every time I always scream going into that turn because it freaks me out. It's so much fun.
And it's like you're looking at it from the top of the hill, and you're like, we're not going to fit in that tiny hole.
Right.
Like, there's no track there. We are, without getting like gross, like we're going to get our heads cut off.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
if that doesn't happen, we're going to fly off the side of the track.
And that's what why coasters scare people, because they're like, I don't.
And Beast does a great job of it. I mean, there is nothing like that. Absolutely. Yeah. And aside from the RT, I mean, of course, we had some good meals and some great behind the scenes opportunities, which we get every year, but it's always a pleasure, especially the Beast one, because it's like a nice walk in the woods, and and we got to go through an indoor haunted house, Hotel St. Michelle. And that takes place in the old Action Theater, and we were able to see like remnants of it, which was not
cool.
Intended, but
that was cool to see the old seats there and everything.
Yeah, and there's like all these old decorations for God knows what. A whole different bunch of different things. I saw some like New Orleans styled stuff, probably for like Grand Carnival, and so that was cool. And of course, the guest speakers are fun. Yeah, it was just and Carson, you got to do what was it? The Amazing Race. Want to talk about that a little bit? What that was?
Yeah, so
I didn't even know.
Yeah, so we were able to email Dawn and see if you got picked, and people got picked out of a hat, and I was able to get picked, and I think there was like 5 or 6 different teams, and pretty much I won't run through everything, but pretty much each team and each team had 6 people, and everybody had to ride every single ride that was on our list. So on our list was
basically everything in Coney Mall, wasn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. I was gonna say everything pretty much in Coney Mall. I won't give the specific list. With Racer included, that was the only coaster. Everything else was like a flat ride, and so pretty much we had to ride all of those. We had to stand in the regular line. We had to wait for all those. We couldn't use fast lane or anything. And then once we were done with there were some curveballs, I guess you could say, where we had to ride the water ride twice, and it was kind of nippy.
So basically, they gave you a list, and it was like, okay, you got to start at this ride, and you got to go to this ride, to this ride, to this ride.
It was pretty much free reign. You just had to start at a specific ride first, and then you could go wherever you wanted. But after
was there like an ambassador or something at each ride? Like,
there was an ambassador.
Rode it. Okay.
Yeah, so they could like check us in and check us out. No, we quit. I will quit. Yeah, I would say
you didn't. Some of your group did.
Yeah, some of our group decided to quit, which is fine. It was fun. I gained a few friendships out of it. Had no idea who.
I think that was kind of the point of it, anyways. Yeah, you know what the prize was if you won?
You won like what was it? Like
it was a behind the scenes photo opportunity of the railroad.
But like even more behind the scenes than the typical one were offered.
Yes. Okay. And then I think you won like a coin or medallion or something. Which was really, really, really cool. But yeah, so Lauren's team won, which she's like, yay, I won. I was like, that's cool. I hate losing. So I'm just like, yeah, but I mean, like I said, it was fun. I would do it again. But yeah, I mean,
I'll look at that. Look at doing that next year.
It's something to, like, cause obviously you're just like, I'm kind of bored with riding normal rides, and not that you're bored with the park, but just kind of meh. And then there's something to do, and I'm very competitive, so we were couldn't run through the park. You had to walk. So we were all like,
running.
Fast walking, I guess you could say.
Where I think this could be improved on is if it was a free sign up and you could pick your own teams.
Oh, we would have.
Oh my God, we'd be screaming at each other. Kyle, hurry up!
We wouldn't be friends probably after that. No. Probably be a bad idea. The podcast would be canceled.
The concept of the Coasterstock, the amazing Coasterstock race. I mean, it sounds really fun. I know this was the first one, but there was one scheduled last year that got canceled for weather. Me and Justin were on the same team last year, so we were ready to go, but unfortunately, Mother Nature had other plans.
Yeah,
that was that was one of the worst storms we've gotten during Coasterstock.
It was.
But yeah, definitely. I say definitely shout out to Dawn and the Kings Island team and everything for having an amazing event.
Yeah. Also, it's always amazing year after year. Also, I mean this in the nicest way possible, but by the midday Saturday, I'm just like, man, I just want it to be ERT. Not that I'm like sick of the park, but I'm sick of the park where I'm just like, the ERT is so fun, and it really takes it out of you in the best way. And it's just like, I just want to go home and go to bed.
Also, shout out to the our fellow Coasterstock attendees. I got recognized, and you guys did too. I think we counted 5 separate times this past weekend from the podcast, so that's pretty cool.
We're growing, boys. Awesome. We're growing.
Even
Keep doing that, people, because it's a nice little ego boost for us, and that's what keeps us going.
Not really, not an ego boost. It's actually, it just makes you feel, it gets you warm fuzzies inside, and you're just like, okay, you know,
that's what I mean.
Even Justin got recognized, and this person might be listening, but it was Saturday ERT at the Beast, and someone heard Justin talk, and they said, "Oh my God, you're the announcer! You're the announcer for that podcast."
Yep. I was there. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh no, he was loving it. He's like, "Oh, I totally am."
It'd be really funny if like he went up to him and be like, "Can you say like good night or something like like can you do it?
Can you say their 3 names for me?"
Yeah, no, it was really cool.
So keep doing that.
Feel free to come if you guys are at the parks or things like that and you guys see us. We don't bite. We'll say hi to you. If I have a CP rundown button on me or something, I've got a crap ton of those, and I'll give you one.
Well, now you're gonna have hordes of people coming up to you.
That's all right. I've got probably 500 buttons that I ordered last year that I gave maybe like 100 away. So we'll be giving them away for a while. But anywho,
and as tired as we were,
yeah.
What did Kyle do on Monday?
Well, I did have a day off, unlike you guys who went to Kentucky Kingdom on Sunday.
Yes, but, I did. And it's not even worth talking about, but anyways.
Yeah, no, I wasn't planning on it. But Monday, I made my return to Cedar Point, and it was the first time I'd been back since July of 2022. And wow, is that park is in amazing shape.
It really is.
It looks so really good. We got to the park, and the first thing we went to was the boardwalk, and we walked around and took pictures. Wild Mouse was down at the time, so we had to wait to do that until later. So we went and we did Steel Vengeance and Maverick, and then we made our way back.
Were you saying something about Magnum?
Yes, Magnum as well. And then we made our way back, and it was lunchtime, so we went upstairs. I was with my parents, my mom and my dad. And none of us were like super hungry, so we didn't get the entree food downstairs. But we all wanted drinks. We went upstairs to the bar and got drinks, and we got appetizers. And oh my God, I cannot believe those appetizers came out of a Cedar Fair kitchen. I mean that in the nicest way possible. But
yeah,
they were so good. We had the pretzel bites or the pretzel sticks, and those came with like a queso dip. It was really, really, really good. We also had the cheese curds, and those were fantastic as well. And with those, I know a lot of places when they serve cheese curds, they'll give you like ranch as a dipping sauce. At Grand Pavilion, they give you I don't know how to describe it. To me, it tastes like an Asian zing, like a sweet kind of like a sweet heat. It was
so good.
Yeah, really, really good. And then we got the flatbread pizza. So that was amazing as well.
Those look good. Those I would, if those were on the meal plan, I would totally take that as a meal. Like those look good.
They were really good. And then for the drinks, I got the blueberry vodka lemonade. My mom got the watermelon drink. I can't remember the exact name of it.
Like watermelon mint one though.
Yeah. It came with a big slice of watermelon in it. And my dad got the Crystal Rock punch, and we all tried each other's. They were all fantastic. And that Grand Pavilion as a whole is
my God,
it's breathtaking. It
really is.
The sheer size of it, I could not even comprehend. I mean, for one, it's massive, and it's just done so well. Like that is the absolute perfect place at Cedar Point to just
absolutely go
and relax. I mean,
I'm somebody that likes to ride a lot, and I'm not somebody that likes to sit around a lot. But man, I just want to sit at Grand Pavilion.
Twitchy when he doesn't get to ride.
No, I wouldn't even say that. But like I like to move around. Like I'd rather walk around the park instead of sit. except Grand Pavilion. Like I want to just spend time there. Like it is just so nice.
Yeah,
it's so it like jumping off of that. It almost feels like you're in like your old grandma's like old mansion or something, and you're just hanging out.
But it was still kept up.
Right. Where you got like soft couches, and you can you got an awesome like backyard of obviously coasters and stuff, but it makes you feel that.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. It blew my expectations out of the water. I mean, that is the perfect venue that place needed.
And you had been hearing us talk about it for weeks about how much we love it, and
it's not that
I
didn't
had high expectations.
It's not that I didn't believe you. It's just
seeing it.
Yeah, it's just seeing it for yourself. I have two thoughts actually. My first thought is I hope they keep that exterior clean because it's white and very tall. So I don't know what their plan is to keep that clean, but Mayfly season is not going to be good for that building.
They're going to stand on Ferris wheel and take a power washer?
Probably. Maybe get a drone to power wash it. Drones do that now.
Oh my God.
That'd
be cool.
My second thought is their revenue would just go through the roof if they kept that place open after park close. I mean, you could even do a thing where you put another entrance on the other side, like on the breaker side, and you just one of the staff members in there after hours just make sure no one can get back into the park. But
you just lock
the doors.
Just lock all the doors at and that's it. Although I don't know if they could do that though. It might be a fire code issue.
I was just gonna say I don't think you could lock it because that's a fire violation.
So do like maybe put some picnic tables in front of the entrance and like make like a temporary gate like they do for like early entry. Mm-hmm. Just make sure there's security around and stuff.
Especially on nights that the park closes at 8, that would be the perfect place to just go. All right, we just had a fantastic day. Let's go get some good food. Let's get some good drinks.
I was just saying, I think if the park closes at 10, that'd be perfect. Cause like you're done. Everything around in town and stuff is pretty much closed and stuff and everything. And you're kind of like stuck, quote unquote.
Especially if you're staying at Breakers, which I mean, Breakers, the surf lounge and whatnot, that's usually open till at least 11 or whatever. But
like that would be perfect. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe they will explore that. And I hope that they do or something like that. Cause I do agree with you. That'll be a huge revenue boost.
Yeah. Other than that, like that's pretty much all I have to say about Grand Pavilion until later, because I'll circle back to that. Then we went and did Wild Mouse, and my first ride was in the cheese car, much like you two.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was with my mom and my dad. My mom doesn't mind spinning. My dad does not like it. So we kind of sat for a minute and thought of how we would arrange us so that we wouldn't spin a whole lot. And everybody came off that coaster loving it, even my dad. It was really
fun.
good. Yeah, that's the perfect word to describe it. It's fun. It's not super tall. It's not super fast. It's not even super long. It's just fun. I mean, it's an amazing addition for the whole family.
They keep adding more and more to that. Obviously, I was talking a little bit about those lights and stuff, but I was going to say like at the very end
all
with
the sound effects and stuff,
with the with the sound effects, but like with the thing that like turns you around. I don't know, the turning aroundy thingy is what I want to call it.
So before you pull into the station, the ride's never going to land perfectly straight. So there's a mechanism that straightens you out, and while you do that, it makes this like weird like boing boing boing.
Yeah. Like it sounds. It's cool. It just adds to it. So
yeah.
Yeah, so that was my initial review of Wild Mouse. That we then rode it. How many more times? Two or three?
Yeah, because the line was short.
Yeah,
super short.
Yeah, the first time I rode it, it was right in the middle of the day. I only waited 20 minutes. It wasn't bad at all.
It seemed like
that seems like that thing really cranks through people when it's rolling.
Yeah, and not having fast lane helps too because there's no merge.
Yeah,
right. For sure.
So yeah, after that, I'm trying to think what else I did.
Well, you had a meal then at Grand Pavilion.
I did, and
Or not back? Are you not there yet?
I'm not there yet. Okay. I'm almost there. Giant Wheel. I did Giant Wheel.
Oh,
yeah. It was. We were. My parents didn't want to stay all day, and you guys were coming up, and Jared was coming up, and they were just hanging out for a little bit. They didn't want to leave if you guys weren't there yet. They didn't want to just leave to have me roam around there by myself. Yeah. So we had about, you guys had said you were on your way. We had like 40 minutes to kill, and I said, you know what? Giant Wheel. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
That's always a classic.
Yeah, it was weird the way they were loading it because it was pretty windy. So they were loading 4 carriages on the top and 4 on the bottom, and that was it. So on that whole wheel, they were only loading 8.
Wow.
Oh my God. I bet that was a line.
Well, the line wasn't long, so I mean,
that's good.
We only had to wait 10 minutes.
Oh, that's
okay. Good.
And then
I mean, I should know since I rode it 16 times last year. So
yeah,
dork.
I've only ridden it once this year. I need to ride it a few more times because there's some really good opportunities that you can take photos on the giant wheel. We can. I emailed Tony. I asked him specifically, and I was like, "Hey, I know last year we were allowed to take photos on the giant wheel. Is that still the case?"
Still the case. And
he said, "Yep, that's still the case. So you can take photos on the giant wheel, not the sky ride, but the giant wheel,
or anything else. There's the train and the giant wheel and the midway carousel."
But yeah, so then we did Wild Mouse for a second time, and that was when we had 4 people loaded on the car, and that was a nice, fun, spinny ride. And then we did it a third time, where Jared had been studying the ride and figured out exactly how to load us so that we would just spin like crazy the entire time. And when you drop off the lift, you turn to the left. So if you leave the farmost right seat completely open and you load the other 3, that just gets you going, and then you don't stop till you hit the brake run. So that was a super, super fun and spinny ride. And then I actually got to eat at Grand Pavilion too. So we went back for dinner. You guys all used your meal plan, and I paid like the regular guest I am. Yep. I tried the funnel cake fried shrimp on recommendation from everybody, and it was fantastic. And then I got the potatoes and the roll, the piece of bread that they give you, and it 10 out of 10. The food downstairs was just as good as the food upstairs. It was awesome.
I love that funnel cake shrimp. It is so good.
I really hope that they keep that same effort up and don't let the Grand Pavilion start to slip. Not saying they have, but I hope that they don't let it slip.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so perfect. That's the only way I can describe it. It's so good. The food is fantastic. Not to sound like so like hip and modern, but the vibes are just really, really nice there.
Speaking of that, really, really fast, you talking or us talking about pictures on rides. I did get sent a list that is acceptable, and I'll just throw those out there really fast. And that is the Giant Wheel, Cedar Point, Lake Erie Railroad, Snake River Expedition, Kitty Kingdom Carousel, Midway Carousel, and the Snoopy Express Railway. Those are all permitted to take pictures on.
Awesome.
But nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. Nope. Do not take your phones out. Do not.
They will stop the ride on the hill or whatever, and
you will be escorted out of the park.
Yep, and you will have to leave. So
please don't do it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyways,
after that,
sorry, I hijacked that.
You're good. After that, we rode Iron Dragon, which was a fun classic as always. Just nice little through the woods, and we got to pretty much stare at Dragster the whole time. Then we did Millennium Farce. We saved that for last ride of the night, and that was as good as always. This is not any fault of Cedar Point, but
I think it was just a fault of you.
I think it was a fault of me. Evan, I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to tell it.
And that's probably why Justin wasn't able to ride Pipeline this tonight is because of you, because you have a black cloud or something.
I had 3 separate instances at Cedar Point on Steel Vengeance, Maverick, and Millennium Force, where I was sitting on the train with my restraint down, and the ride out goes, open gates, unload train, and I had to get off the train and step back into the queue. The first one on Steel Vengeance was for guest illness. I get that. Second one on Maverick was for transferring a train off, which was then funny because we sat down in the same exact train we were on, because someone had left a funny dinosaur sticker on the train and it was still there.
Yeah.
And then the third one was for last ride of the night on Millennium Force. The catch car didn't come back down, so they had to fix that.
Were you guys going to be the last train too?
We ended up being second to last train. We weren't going to be last.
Oh my God, they were so close to getting through the night.
They had 2 cycles, and they had to call maintenance out and fix it for 2 cycles.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Well, shout out to Cedar Point for even bothering though.
yeah.
Six Flags would have been like,
go home.
oh well,
Yeah,
go home.
Yeah.
Goodbye. See you later. Goodbye.
The park.
It was Six Flags Day.
The actual park itself is in beautiful condition. I completely get this, so I'm not faulting the park for it at all. As a previous employee, I get it, but it was a little disheartening to see all of the closed attractions and gift shops and food stands. There was a lot that was closed on Monday, and like, hey,
Yeah.
I get it. Early season, midweek, your college kids and your high school kids aren't out of school yet. Like, that's gonna happen. Cuts are gonna have to be made, but it still, it was a little sad to see.
I was going to say we did notice that all of like I would say pretty much the main gift shops and also like the main food places that pretty much everybody wants to eat was open though, which was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just missing like the snack stands and
Well,
just little stupid gift shops, I think.
My Mother's Day did not start out on a great note, because when she goes to Cedar Point, the two things that she has to eat are fresh cut fries and Auntie Anne's pretzels. So we get to the park and the fresh cut fry stand on the Midway is closed, and I'm like, oh
no.
man, sorry Mom. I was like, maybe it'll open later. Maybe the other one in the back of the park will be open, and the other one in the back of the park was open, but we didn't know that at the time. And I was like, well, we can go split some pretzels then. And we walk up to Auntie Anne's, and that was closed too. And I was like, oh, I feel so bad for her.
Did she wind up getting her fries and her pretzels at some point?
No pretzels, because the only two Auntie Anne's locations were closed in the park, but fries.
I mean,
yes.
she kind of had pretzel bites from the Grand Pavilion, right?
Yeah, and they were very good. So it was no biggie. And the other fry stand in the back of the park by Gemini was open, so at least they were still serving fries. But to me, I would think they would keep the one up front open, but that's just me.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to space out maybe food options for other people or something like that. But I will jump on what you were saying, Kyle. And I mean, that's kind of like, yeah, we get it. It's the middle of the week. It's early, it's like mid-May, I guess you could say. Well, almost end of May now. And like, it's kind of a revenue drop though, because you guys were ready and your mom was willing, and you guys don't have the meal plans. Obviously those aren't the meal plans, but like you guys were ready to buy stuff, and sadly that was closed. So, I mean, that's $50 down the drain.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But
we're getting on Memorial Day weekend, and everything will be open and everything will be good.
Also, not not negative, but they moved the bricks, the legacy bricks, and now I don't know where either of mine are. So if you guys come across them, let me know.
I can't even find my personal one, and I can't find the CP Rundown one. So
we spent like 20 minutes looking. So I actually have two. So I have one that's just mine that my uncle bought me, and then we have another one for our whole family. I did find the one that was just mine.
Oh, that's good.
I probably couldn't find it again, but I did find it once.
Tony did say, and I think if you go on Cedar Point's website, I think it says that they're working on a new map.
Yeah, so actually I tried to pull up the map, and I know exactly what you're talking about. So basically it said that they're moving all of the bricks to that inner circle, and not all of them are in yet. So throughout the season, they're going to be working on installing the rest of them, and then once every single brick is in, they will re-release the map. So believe
me, I noticed. I normally take, joking aside, I was just say I'm totally joking. I was just say I literally like take a toothbrush and some toothpaste and some cleaner, and opening day I'm like sitting on my knees and I'm kind of like scrubbing away and making sure mine shines like whatever, and I can't find mine. But
yeah,
full disclosure, that was a joke. So
I don't know, man. That seems like something you would do.
I'm trying to think.
I've thought about it. Not gonna lie, I really have thought about it, but no.
Yeah. We bought one of the giant Cedar Point 150th signs that was up on the posts on the Midway, like the big metal signs.
Nice.
So that was fun.
Did they display it anywhere? Is it going in your tiki bar area?
It's actually going to make its way down to Florida, but I could not fit it in my suitcase. Like even my big checked suitcase, it was too big. If that tells you how big it is.
Okay.
So it will make its way to Florida as soon as the United States Postal Service gets it here.
I can't wait to see where you're going to put it.
Yeah, you know my apartment and how much theme park junk I have. I don't know where this thing's going to go.
I wouldn't say it's junk. I think it's really cool stuff.
Well, no, yeah, it is. So I'll find a place for that. And then walking out, we saw the new arcade sign.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It lights up and it has lighting sequences. But all in all, big thumbs up for the 2023 version of Cedar Point. I know I talked about it before I'd even seen it, that this was the perfect addition, but it truly was. I mean, that filled a hole that park has desperately needed to fill for years.
Yep.
But agreed.
Yeah, I don't want to ramble on a whole lot, but that's about all I have on Cedar Point.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of Cedar Point, Evan and I were invited to from Tony. Tony Clark is the PR manager.
I believe his actual title is Director of Communications, but whatever.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah, he is at the part. Let's see. He is the Director of Communications. Yeah, you were spot on, Evan. Good job. So anybody that knows Tony Clark, he normally does like tweet ups and everything. I know, right? You're always right.
Anyway, that was a joke, guys. I'm not actually that conceited.
He kind of is, but that's okay. Anyway, so we were invited from Tony to come to a Frontier Festival Creator Day. So Evan and I will be at the park this Saturday, and we will be getting not first look, but we're getting a glimpse of everything that has to do with Frontier Festival. We'll be able to try some of the new food, some of the new drinks, watch some entertainment. And so obviously we will talk to you all on the podcast about, what we see. What
there's next week's episode.
Right. A little sneak peek on that.
Yeah.
But also make sure that you stay tuned to the Facebook page and all our other social media pages, because we'll be taking pictures and maybe video and live streaming and the whole 9 yards and stuff. So I'm super excited about it. Like and Evan, I know you're dying to talk about it. This year's menu is not cherry themed like the past.
It's very different.
Evan, what is the theme this year? What is everyone wants to know?
So this year's theme is corn, and I'm going to back it up a little bit just so we're all aware of what Frontier Festival is. So it takes place obviously in Frontier Town. They set up a bunch of booths with different food, with different beer, and you can buy tasting cards. I believe this year it's $60, gets you 10 tastes, which is, I mean, if you're just there to drink beer, that's 80 ounces of beer, because it's 8 ounces per pour. So just saying, you could really get going. Anyways, and you could get one portion of food, which they're not like entree size, but they're also not. You get enough to enjoy the food.
Yes.
At least in years past. So this year they have 7 different stands set up to serve food, and there's not a ton, so I'm going to read through each of them real quick.
Yep.
So we have savory corn fritters, jalapeno creamed corn empanadas. You're going to probably have to correct me on the pronunciation. Elote sweet corn quesadilla. Red Bliss potato pierogi.
Elote.
Wow, I was off. I really Americanized that. Sorry. So this is the one where I'm a little on corn ice cream with butterscotch and caramel corn topping.
I'm excited for that.
It's either going to be really good or really bad, but we'll see. That's what the point of this kind of stuff is to really go nuts and sample different things and, I don't know, try stuff that's never really going to be on any menus anywhere. Sweet and savory popcorn slab, which the wording on that just kind of makes me giggle. Caramel corn, chicken or beef walking tacos with honey barbecue Fritos, which are corn-based.
That sounds good.
Which I'm sure there's also going to be corn in the walking tacos. And that'll be at Miss Keats Smokehouse, which I don't believe has been open yet this year. So that's kind of nice. Just throwing that out there. Kettle corn.
Hold on. I don't mean to cut you off, but I saw on Food Blog today that Miss Keats opened.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Good.
Perfect.
Sweet corn cheesecake squares. And then this is the one I am the most excited for. And I'm sure Karsten could have picked this out very easily. Smoked corn on the cob with flavored butters. I think like 5 of my tickets are going to go. If they have 4 different butters, I'm getting 4 different smoked corn on the cobs. Charred corn and chorizo flatbread with jalapenos, and rounded out funnel cake fries with caramel corn drizzle. So I don't know. There's not a lot to talk about yet because we haven't tried anything. But obviously, I'm most excited for the corn on the cob. I don't know what about you, Karsten and Kyle? I don't know if you were coming up, what would you be?
Oh man,
running towards?
Yeah,
I was going to say
probably the corn on the cob.
Definitely the corn on the cob, because I mean, I'm a sucker for like buttered corn on the cob.
If they use the same butter that they use on the corn ribs at Farmhouse, it's a win.
So I don't know. I wouldn't mind changing it up and having different butters, and maybe it'll be like Mexican style corn on the cob or something. Maybe.
Yeah,
or,
I'm excited. I'm really excited. And
but I'm actually really excited for that ice cream, the corn ice cream.
I'm interested to try it, and I'm also, because they've been teasing this charred corn and chorizo flatbread with jalapenos since like they announced Frontier Fest like months ago.
Yeah, I saw that picture and it looks really good.
It does look really good.
Yes.
And then for the beer drinkers, they have a very large variety of different brands. I'm going to just kind of run through those real quick. We got Blue Moon, Great Lakes, Fatheads, Line and Googles, Simply Spiked, Angry Orchard, Dogfish Head, Twisted Tea, Miller, Sam Adams, Topo Chico, which I think is actually seltzer, but whatever. Summer Cooler novelty drinks. Oh, that's not a brand. Oops. Course, Blue Moon. I'm probably going to say things multiple times because they kind of have the same. They have the same brands at different locations, but then they have different flavors. High Noon, Craft House Cocktails. That's a specialty drink that Cedar Point's doing. Elysian Brewing, Golden Road Brewing, Kona Brewing Company, Platform Beer, Yingling, Millersburg Brewing Company, and Saugatuck Brewing Company. So it seems those kind of more local ones are at one specific stand that's going to be located kind of by Mine Ride's entrance, because I know a lot of people are suckers for just trying local stuff. So that's kind of cool that they kind of keep those all together. And they're going to have a bunch of shows. And
I was going to say, if anybody wants to see like the nitty gritty and everything, if you go to Cedar Point's website, click on Frontier, like I think go to the events page, click on the Frontier Festival. There's actually two PDFs that you can download, and you can see where the locations are at and what everything is listed. Like I clicked on like just the drink menu. It literally has all the Twisted Teas. Like you have blueberry, half,
peach, pineapple, raspberry. They have all the Angry Orchards, which I didn't even know half of these existed. So.
Right. So I mean, there's a very.
Yeah, I'm not going to read through all those because.
Oh yeah, that'll.
Yeah, but
that'll put everybody to sleep.
Yeah, but go check out Cedar Point's website. They also have a Frontier Festival T-shirt bundle that gives you a T-shirt, a button, and a bandana for $22.99. There's a bunch of different shows. There's a bunch of different like crafts and activities, entertainment.
Lots of stuff for the kids too.
And that is running actually, as of 5 hours ago, from noon to 8 every day from now till June 18th, through June 18th.
And they also, I think you said you can get like 10 tickets.
It's 10 tickets for $60.
Yeah, for $59.99, or you can get the 6-ticket option for $39.99. So if you don't want to, it's for the tastings, which is cool. Yeah. And then also on that, like I said, if you click on that and then click on the view guide, and you click on, if you scroll all the way down on that view guide, it says click extra more. There's another PDF, but it tells you kind of like how much everything is worth per se. Everything. I just had it and I think I lost it. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. It says one ticket for, the hearty food portion, or 1 ticket for an 8-ounce beer pouring, or 1 ounce, or 1 ticket for one non-alcoholic beverage, and 2 tickets for the summer cooler novelty drink. So that'll probably, I think last year they had like something that you would hang around your neck, kind of something, and it was like a little punch bag or something, and you would stick in there.
Oh, that's what that is.
Well,
I'm looking at like the expanded drink menu, and they have like in green lettering as opposed to everything else was in black. They have cocktails, and I'm going to assume that this is what the 2 tickets are. They have the Rough and Rowdy cocktail, the Rambler, the Apple Butter Tea, Lusty Lil, and White Lightning. So those are probably going to be your 2 ticket things.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm super, like, me and Evan, we're going on Saturday, and we're going to experience all the corn goodness. So I'm excited.
It's going to be really corny.
definitely definitely a thank you to Cedar Point for inviting us, and we'll definitely report back. So
it's a lot of food.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Is there actually
stuffed.
10 food items, or are they kind of baiting us into drinking here?
There's like 12 food items. I think for 100%.
13.
Is it 13? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to share a few, but we'll figure it out.
Yep.
We will definitely figure it out, and we will definitely write back and tell you what's good and what's amazing. And I mean, obviously, everything is going to be pretty good. So, but anywho, Kyle, you want to close this out with your awesome, cool Florida update that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot because I know we've been going for almost an hour at this point. But I got to do some cool stuff today. I had to go to Costco, grocery shopping, and in order for me to get to Costco, I literally drive right past Universal. Costco is one exit past Universal. So on the way home, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna run in for a little bit. And I had my eye on the Poseidon's Fury closing T-shirts. I was never able to get one, but I thought I'm going to give it a shot and go in and see if they have any, and they did. So I picked up one for me, one for Dean. I got one for you, Karsten.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was cool. And then actually I got to go over to that was in the Islands of Adventure side. I got to go to the Universal Studios side to see the pass holder preview of the Summer Tribute Store. So if you don't know about Universal, multiple times a year they have one store that's called the Tribute Store, and it's normally geared towards whatever event is going on at the time. So if it's summer, it's normally like classic movies or IP properties. Obviously during Horror Nights, it's Horror Nights. During Christmas, it's Christmas. During Mardi Gras, it's Mardi Gras. But the thing about this store is it's completely different every time you go in it. It's the same building, but they tear everything down and build it all back up as whatever theme it is. So this year, the Summer Tribute Store is themed to the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park. So that was really cool
Cool.
Yeah, really cool being able to be there. Today was the first day it opened. So when you walk up, it looks kind of like a movie set almost, where they have like scaffolding and a bunch of movie props sitting out front, and there's dinosaurs and everything. So that's cool. And then you walk into the first room, and it's actually before you walk in, there's a big banner, and the banner says "The Making of Jurassic Park: A Behind-the-Scenes Look at One of the Most Amazing Motion Pictures of All Time." And then, yeah, like I said, out front, there's actually a couple full-scale dinosaurs just kind of laying on the ground, so that's pretty cool. And then once you actually walk in, the first room is kind of like a actual studio, so it's themed as like a pre-production office.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so right when you walk in, there's a big kind of sign on the door that says "Pre-production Offices, Los Angeles, August 1991."
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's really cool. So you walk in, and there's a bunch of like fossils, and there's a big kind of like dinosaur put together fossil hanging from the ceiling.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
And then there's just a bunch of Jurassic Park merch all over the place.
Yeah. It's just a bunch of Jurassic Park merch. So yeah, the first room, it's kind of like a mix of it. Basically, it's like what the room looked like when they were researching everything, if that makes sense. So there's a bunch of like blueprints of set pieces and
that's so cool.
Like actual
and it's probably legit stuff, right?
Yeah, and like actual props that they used in the movie, and you can see some of the sets that they built, like some of the mini sets that they built to kind of storyboard everything. They did some
clay animation stuff too and everything.
Yep.
What's cool is like, I mean, Universal is, I don't know if they were like the actual company behind it and stuff. So they've got they can post and show everything, whatever they want, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's the first room. And like you said, Evan, once you walk in, it's just a bunch of Jurassic Park merch.
Cool.
And then next up is the second room is it's called Soundstage 28 Closed Set Kitchen Set. So it's themed to like the scene in Jurassic Park where the kids are hiding in the kitchen and the velociraptors are trying to, break in. So they kind of rebuilt that set in the store, and
that's cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool. They have some full scale velociraptors like up on the table. So yeah, that's really cool. And then the third room is just kind of everything Jurassic Park. You pass by like the bathroom where the dinosaur like busts through the porta potty, and yeah, so you pass
eats
that.
The guy that runs away from the kids because he decides to leave the kids.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Was Sam Neill and Chris Pratt there at all? Or
they were not. No.
Oh, okay. That's unfortunate.
And yeah, the last room, so there's 3 rooms. The last room has displays of a bunch of like vintage merchandise from the actual release of Jurassic Park in 1993.
Oh,
cool.
But yeah, a lot of those items are in like display cases or up on the wall, and they're not actually for sale. It's just more to showcase like the pop culture phenomenon that this movie had when it was released. It's a bunch of like 90s toys and books.
I saw everything. That, man.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we have this stuff and it's super cool and you guys should see it.
Yeah, essentially. And then at the end of the tribute store, always they have snacks. So they have like pastries and cakes and cookies and everything you can buy.
Like dinosaur eggs that you can eat.
Yeah, and they all have like a Jurassic Park theme.
I was just saying, you could also, is it like the wax figures that you can get as the claw?
Yep. So you can all over Central Florida, like the SeaWorld, Busch Garden, Universal Parks, they have these machines where you pay like $4 and then it's an actual wax mold that forms right there. And this one, like you said, is like the claw. They also have coins you can buy. Actual like full size like display coins. And they're $5 each, or they have 4 different designs, or you can get all 4 for $15. So if you really like them, you can get that 4th one for free if you buy all 4.
You buy all of them, yeah. That's cool. I was just say really quick, I saw a little bit of pictures they had where in the movie, like the original movie, obviously, Jurassic Park, I was going to say when they were trying to restore the power and I can't remember names, but when the girl goes and tries to restore power and stuff and she has to turn like everything on, they actually have like that board of like everything that you need to turn on by the electrical panel where it says like, I don't know, Tyrannosaurus Rex gate, or you know what I'm talking about, Kyle?
Yeah, like the breaker panel.
Yeah. And it's like from red to green kind of thing, and you push the buttons and stuff. By the way, did you try to push a button? Can you push the buttons from red to green at all? Or
buttons can be pushed, but there was a lot of people. There were a lot of Central Florida theme park vloggers there, so I wasn't about to like ruin their shots and everything. But yeah, you can.
Does it change colors?
From what I saw, it does, and there's like sound effects and stuff.
Get to push buttons, Karsten.
I'm literally gonna have to look at flights and see if I can just sneak down there really quick, because this looks so much. I saw this and I'm like, wow, you feel like you're in the movie. I was just say really quick, the merchandise and stuff. A lot of the merchandise says like 30th anniversary, and it kind of looks like the banner's torn and stuff and everything. So if you're a big Jurassic Park fan, you definitely would love this. And I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan. So,
but yeah, that was fun. I was in and out of Universal in like an hour. Like I said, I went to Islands to go to the Poseidon gift shop, and I went to Universal to go to the tribute store, and then I left because friendly neighborhood announcer Justin is in town, like he always is. And he wanted to head over to SeaWorld and check out Pipeline because they're still in pass holder previews. Unfortunately, he did not get to experience Pipeline the surf coaster due to inclement weather.
Or Kyle's Black Cloud.
Yeah, one of them. No, I will say, before he got there, I rode a bunch of stuff. So I think it was weather this time. It was fun, though, because I've only been on Pipeline a couple times, and I got a couple more today. But they actually have an announcement for inclement weather. It's like, hey surfers, there's choppy waves and lightning on the shore. So oh my god, I can't remember it. Choppy waves and lightning.
Some dorky surfer dude.
Yeah, he's like, choppy waves and lightning on the horizon. So let's all stay ashore until this weather passes, or like something stupid like that.
Totally dude.
Yeah. So that was fun.
That's the kind of stuff though that like that makes me go from like a 9.9 on a park to like a 10. Like literally just the little stuff.
Little stupid things.
Little stuff, yeah. Like for instance, when we were riding the wild mouse and you got to hear all the cool mice that were
head mouse.
Yeah. They got all their little safety instructions, and there's every single mouse has like their own little.
The only one I pay attention to is the head mouse.
Yeah, right.
It's just so funny when he. I don't know why they made him sound so just goofy, but I'm the head mouse. Yeah. It just cracks me up every single time.
It's great. I love it. It's good stuff. It makes you like, wait, what? You know.
Yeah.
So it's that little stuff. It's that little.
And can we talk about how Kyle was literally on his way to go grocery shopping? He's like, I'm going to stop at Universal. Like,
that's
come on, man.
When you live in Florida,
the Costco that I go to is one exit past Universal. And you know, I always take a cooler with me, so if I have anything that's frozen or whatever, I can chuck it in the cooler and not worry about it.
That's so awesome.
So I was like, yeah, you know, I knew I had to go to SeaWorld to meet Justin, but you know, I said, yeah, I'm gonna run in. You know, there's some stuff I want to do. And again, I was only there for like an hour, and then
get some cheaper gas at Costco too. You know.
Yeah, I didn't even ride anything. I literally I went in, I visited 2 gift shops, and I turned around and came right back out.
Jeez.
It seems like a long walk for 2 gift shops, depending on where you had to park.
Yeah. I parked in Prime, so I was on the level of where the moving walkway is. Mm-hmm. But still, I mean, it's a hike to get from City Walk to the parks.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
But lucky for me, I like walking and it's exercise, so I don't mind it.
Yeah. He went to Costco and got to go to the amusement park after he was done shopping.
2, because I went to SeaWorld. Technically 3, because I went to 2 at Universal.
Life isn't fair.
Oh, Jesus.
Life isn't fair.
But yeah, that's...
Oh, well.
I don't want to keep droning on about Florida, but that was my day today.
Yeah.
Well, it's summer up here now. Mm-hmm. Memorial Day's this weekend. It's going to be beautiful weather. We got Frontier Fest. We got the water parks opening.
Yeah, it's the official start of the summer once Memorial Day hits.
Yes. That is so exciting times.
Very exciting. The bugs are back at Cedar Point. That's the more unfortunate thing.
That's when you know summer is right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be warm, though, the next, I think, week or so.
We're not supposed to get rain for the next, 2 weeks. So some really good park days ahead.
You can have some of ours.
No, thanks.
You know, during this podcast, watching on Skype, I could literally see out your window. I literally saw lightning a few times.
Oh yeah,
it seemed pretty bad.
It's been like hurricaning all night.
Well,
awesome.
It's either that or someone's taking random pictures of Kyle through the window. So,
well, I live on the 2nd floor, so it's not that.
Oh my god, dude, that's where the CP Rundown guy lives.
That's the podcast suite.
There it is. We found it.
Oh, man. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in this week. Like we said, with Memorial Day coming up and the official start of summer, we're going to try to get back to a regular recording schedule, unlike what we went through this winter. So bear with us. Stick around. And I'm looking forward to a great summer.
Yeah, we'll be back next week with Frontier Fest and a look at Coastermania, which will be the following day, I believe, after our recording. So exciting stuff coming.
And shout out to our amazing fans that keep recognizing us, keep looking out for us.
That's going to do it. Take it away, Justin.
Thank you for listening to the Rundown on Fun. Be sure to follow us on social media to stay up to date on all things Cedar Fair. As always, be kind to your ride operators, and we will see you on the Midway. Good night.